You know, if you are the one setting the traps, then the traps are for the enemies, and it's good that it's a trap. The amount of people that play that, you know, I really should play it, but, you know, again, I feel like, I don't know, the public experience, if you're playing with just open, maybe not necessarily for new people, and also, like, you know, if people are too into it, can be very challenging, and, you know, I don't know. Most recent one's been Wukong. That's another one that I want to play as well, Wukong. But again, you know, I'll get around to it eventually. I need to finish off Sekiro as well. That's one that I absolutely do need to do. Like, I got past the first guy on the horse. I killed him, and then I died to a pig. And that caused me some problems. Time to delete Final Fantasy 16. Yes, as well. I tried getting a key for that, but they didn't give me a key, so you know, sad. But eventually, when all these things are not so expensive, I will be getting around to them. But at the point of the time, they are kind of, you know, a lot of money. But yeah, I also need to delete a lot of games. Like, I'm gonna uninstall that when I get around to it as well. When I get around to it. But sometimes they sit on my hard drive a bit too long after I've played them. But yeah, I do try to delete and make room, but then I just end up filling it with something else. That's the other thing as well. Like, there's games that I have, but they're so big that I don't have the hard drive room to install them, and it's like, I want to play them, and then I fill the hard drive with something else again and never get around to it. Real OG game. I mean, this is actually modern, but it's, you know, it's designed to be retro as well, and it has a lot of secrets, so it's deceptive. It's very deceptive that it is, you know, very retro, but manages to hide so many secrets and have so many intricate things to it. So, yeah, new OG style, that's probably a good way of describing it. Like, the surprises and secrets and the levels that it goes to and the depths. There's so much to it. And it's a cheap game as well. So, you know, if you haven't played Vampire Survivors, I'd recommend it, because there's a surprising amount to it, which is why it said I have 60 hours in the game. And I have not even done everything in it. So, you never played it. I'd recommend it. It's good, it's a lot of fun, it's cheap, and it's ridiculous the amount of depth that it goes to. Like, you'll just keep discovering more and more secrets, and like, there are hidden things that the weapons do, and hidden bosses, and so many different characters, and they have a way of making the levels very varied as well. So, you know, you might think that it's just going to be pretty much doing the same thing, but for somehow it feels different on all the different levels. And the amount of different weapons in it as well. Like, they all do a lot of different things. So, yeah, you know, if at the very least you should look it up and check it out. Obviously, you're checking it out now. But, you know, I recommend it, especially at the price that it is. I think, what is it, £4? And I've got 60 hours in it. It has co-ops too, as well. I didn't... when it came out, it didn't have co-op. I'm guessing that's a fairly new thing. I didn't even know that it had the co-op. So, you know, that's news to me. The co-op is certainly interesting. You do want to play more variety. Variety is good, and I don't know if you're on like the Game Key websites as well. If you are, then you know, often they send keys to things as well. So, you know, I got the DLCs and this from the PR games companies, so, you know, it's definitely convenient to be on the games keys websites. They definitely help with the variety. It's very easy to have variety when you're getting offers of different keys and everything all the time. But yeah, I enjoy it, so, you know, definitely a recommendation from me. And definitely adds to the variety, and it's apparently pretty popular with viewers as well. So, you know, it's one of the more popular ones, especially on YouTube. Like the YouTube, like all the Vampire Survivors videos, they just seem to be constantly the popular ones. So you should, like I say, with it being so cheap, you definitely should. And if you're on things like Keymailer and everything, you know, it doesn't hurt to put an application in, and then, you know, you try it out. And if it's for you, if it's not for you, makes it a lot easier when you don't have to pay. Definitely makes it a lot easier to make decisions on games if you don't have to pay them. Boom, 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 boom. And the aim in most of them is to live till 30 minutes as the game becomes harder and harder, but you get more and more weapons and you become stronger, so, you know, it's possible. And then you find treasure chests that also give you things. So they've gone pretty hard on the making it very flashy and interactive. So what days did you decide to pick to stream this week? Have you, because you said Monday's the day that you set up your schedule. And is it going to be Dead by Daylight and Until Dawn, or Game just nukes your stream? Unfortunately, it does. Unfortunately, it does kill the bitrate, but usually not until the end. But you know, it still does make the bitrate suffer a bit. Once the screen starts getting filled with things, it's very much a light show. Play Planner is here. He knows better. Ah, so you don't do the planning. Your planner plans for you. That also makes life a lot easier to make decisions when someone else makes the decisions for you. I need a planner. Any planners going spare? Nah, I mean, you know, I manage, but I am very indecisive. It definitely does become a challenge. Okay, I don't think that there's much point in not picking these up, to be fair, considering we have very little options for things to use, so I might as well pick up every advantage that I can get. Okay, we've basically killed all the enemies. What is this thing over here? It looks like a keyhole. Suspicious. Is there a key on the room as well? There might be a key somewhere hiding in here. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nice. Yeah, I tried to keep it to just 3 because, I don't know, I get overwhelmed. You know, when it becomes a lot of days in a row. Ah, there's a... Walk straight into the bad guy. Perfect. There's a vampire over here. I know that it's like your vampire is another thing, but I think every one of the characters are actually vampires, because why else would they be coffins to unlock? And we are vampire survivors after all, right? The vampire is in another coffin. I don't know. I think they're all vampires, honestly. And they're trying to survive the onslaught of monsters fighting against them, but maybe they don't realize that they're vampires. The secret lore behind the game. None of the characters realize they're all vampires, and that all of these monsters trying to hunt them down, they're just doing it because they're vampires, and the vampires must die. That's what I believe. It's probably wrong, but that's what I'm going with. Like, why else would it be vampire survivors when none of the monsters are necessarily vampires? Some of them could be, like the bats. But for the most part, I'd say they're not. Bum, 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 bum. Well, be sure to pop by on Tuesday, because, you know, I have nothing planned for Tuesday. Bum, bum. Unless it's Until Dawn, because obviously, you know, I'm trying to avoid Until Dawn spoilers. But these people with the knives here, they're definitely not vampires. You know, I definitely wouldn't say the guy with the 4 knives is a vampire. Until Dawn. Perfect. I apologise that I won't be able to pop by. But yeah, I'm avoiding the spoilers for that for now. Because that's, you know, definitely one of the games that I want to play. Because I really enjoy those decision games. And, you know, until I get to play and make my own decisions, I gotta avoid the spoilers. And I thought at most it'd be 20 quid. 60 quid though. 60 quid. Bum, bum. But when you get around to Resident Evil 2, I'll definitely be able to watch that. I think I played through the original one probably at least 10 times. I completed it with both characters. Because it had all the unlocks that you had to get through beating the game so many times. So yeah, I don't think there's anything that could be spoiled with that. You can stream on Friday, hopefully. Is there something in particular that might be holding you back from streaming on Friday? Oh, stream it on Friday. I've got a bit of a dead pixel there that sometimes it covers the words. So I didn't necessarily see it the first time. You have a meeting. Aha, hopefully the meeting goes well. I'm sure very important things to be discussed. Okay, we're 8 minutes in. And the sword people have turned blue. But the frames are not being killed yet. That's the most important thing. When it becomes a light show, it becomes very, very challenging. Bum, 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 bum. And I have too many things going on in the week as well. Like, if the dentist ever offers you a crown instead of another filling, because your filling came out, I would say no. Now, knowing what I know, because I've had to go in twice already, and then they rearranged for a third time to go in on the 7th of next month. But the measurement that they took on the last time, which was last week, there apparently isn't good enough. So they need me to go in again this week. And then I still need to go in on the 7th. So that's at least 4 visits to the dentist. I did create all my own emotes, and thank you, I appreciate it. You know, I tried to make things a bit varied. The animated ones I sort of cheated with. I used metahumans to create them. But, you know, for the most part, they're all my own. And I made my own character that sort of looks a bit like me in metahumans, and then, you know, animated that up and then changed that into an emote. So, you know, some creativity. But thank you very, very much. I do appreciate the compliments. Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, I tried to make them different because I don't like the ones that, you know, all the generic ones that a lot of places try to sell you for, like, you know, it's like buy the emote sets and they all just look the same. So I wanted mine to be different. Thank you, thank you. Those ones all look sort of similar though. That's the unfortunate one with the emotes on the animated emotes. Some of them, I know they've got different things that happen in them, but they do look sort of the same. So, you know, for partly they were like temporary, at least filling the slot. And, you know, I need to work on them a bit more. I need to get rid of the background so that there's no actual background and it's just the emote. And, you know, maybe vary them up a bit. But, you know, I wanted to at least have something out there. So, you know, they exist. It is meant to be me. It's the closest that I could get with the thing that existed in Metahumans. Metahumans is very hard to make a character that looks like yourself. Extra treasure boss spawns every minute. That sounds good. What could possibly go wrong? Other than dying to a boss. I tried my best. And yeah, again, thank you for the compliments. I do very, very much appreciate it. One of them, the gun one, that's on coins, unfortunately, though. But this one, I just took a picture of me holding a PlayStation 2 light gun and then turned it into a mouse. Cheating a little, yes. But creative. So I can't take full credit for drawing that or anything. That's just me holding a PlayStation light gun and taking a picture of it and then making that into an emote. But it works. It works. How about your emotes? Did you make all of your own emotes or did you get someone else to do them? Because yours are pretty cute and cool as well. Very interesting. You've got a lot more emotes than me as well. Let's face it. Ooh, extra bonus treasure. I think yours are pretty cute as well. Like, try to get one in there. Just gonna do the thing. I've got too many emotes. This is a problem. Early donuts. The dance one's really good. Someone else does work. I mean, that's always a good thing. You know, if you can afford it and you can get good emote artists, it's good to do. But, you know, I'm a small channel and I can't afford it. So I made all my own. But I like them a lot more than the ones that would be in my price range. You know, if you can get a good one, you can afford a good one, then definitely go for someone that can make good emotes. But, you know, done the best with the tools at hand. You're only good with drawing, but that's good, you know. Being good at drawing is still good, you know. And that is part of it, but the animating one, yeah. Animating emotes is a lot harder, which is why I cheated, sort of, with the metahumans. Which I could draw on a tablet, but no tool for it. Tablet drawing, apparently, once you learn it, is easier. But I've not done it myself. But I know Natalo does emote. Not emote. Tablet drawing, and she does a lot of artwork, but she doesn't stream anymore or anything. So, you know, she recommends drawing on a tablet. Apparently it's really a lot easier once you get the hang of it, and you can do a lot more things with it than drawing on PC. But again, you know, you have to pay out to have the hardware and the stuff for the tablet, right? Everything just becomes a cost. And you need the tools. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Really good tablet artists, when you see them, it's amazing what they can do. Like, they have it all on lockdown somehow. They're just so good. Way better than anything I could ever do, that's for a fact. Yeah, I don't know. My emotes, I did what I could. I did what I could, and I made them different and unique. And, like, I tried not to... Why is there a treasure chest floating in from the left? That was probably under my face cam, but... just floats in from off the screen. Loot Goblin! I need to kill the Loot Goblin. He was running away with my loot. Thank you, thank you. Not saying that it's better than... Why? But the people that do tablet drawings, they definitely say that tablet drawings are better. They definitely say that, you know, and from what I've seen on their outcomes, you know, they recommend it, so. Okay, many treasure chests. Too many treasure chests. You have a tablet and you can draw, but you suck. But you can learn. You know, it's a start, and I'm guessing, you know, you'll get better at it. It's like all drawing, really. Once you get the techniques and everything down, you become better at things. So, you know, you gotta start out somewhere. Everyone has to start out somewhere. You love drawing. Nice. So I can work on it. You wish I had one. True. Do you have a throne wish list? Because if you have one of them, you can put like crowdfunding things on there as well. So that's another option for people to be able to donate for things that you want and need. You can always put that on there, and you know, eventually people can help support. And we've got our 5 chests. But yeah, I think, you know, learning how to use the tablet and everything, I'm sure it becomes worth it in the end. Very fulfilling in the end, once you know how to do it. Because no one knows how to just draw straight away. If they do, they are godly, and they should just, you know, dedicate their entire life to art. But we all have to start somewhere and then learn to draw and then, you know, adapt from that. So, you know, don't be disheartened, DJ Ninja Wolf, that you... I don't know, you know, you might say you suck, and you could probably be the greatest artist, because I know a lot of people do that as well. They're like, oh, I suck, and then you look at it and it's like, I wish I could draw like that. More often than not, you know, people will be like, I suck, and then you look at it and you're like, really? I wish I could draw like that. Always the way. Boom, 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 boom. I bet you're really good secretly, and you're just, you know, playing it down, aren't you? You're playing it down so that we don't, and then you'll come in with your drawing and it'll just be the Mona Lisa. Okay, this is too many treasure chests now. Far too many. Okay, we're starting to get a lot of enemies on the screen, but still not necessarily killing the bitrate enemies. But enough. And there's loot everywhere, which also doesn't help. And the effects that we're leaving in our path and the wake. Boom, 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 boom. Can draw a great stick man. Honestly, the challenge of that, like, anyone can draw a stick man, but to draw a great stick man, that's a challenge. What makes your stickman stand out above a normal stickman that makes him great? Like, everyone can draw a stickman, but I don't think everyone can draw a great stickman. So, you know, you've got to step up above people already. And as for tablet drawing a stickman, I don't know. I tried before tablets were really, really good, and like I never got on that well drawing. So to draw a stickman on the tablet, very impressive. No, but the main thing that they say on the tablets is the thickness of the lines. That's the one that makes the biggest difference. That you can make thinner and thicker lines with the pressure, and it adapts. And that's how you really get the best techniques out of them. The main difference with tablets is the lack of feedback. Yeah, that's the one thing that I couldn't get along with. It was just the lack, you know, you are looking at it and you just have to know in your head how it's drawing, because otherwise it just goes wild, and then, you know, you think you're drawing something and then you look at it and it's like, That looks nothing like what I thought I was doing. The stickman's arms aren't even attached to the body. His legs have gone for a walk. I don't know where they've gone for a walk, but they're not attached to him anymore. Yeah, definitely would take a bit of getting used to. And, like, I think that's why I didn't necessarily go for it. But, you know, if you put the work in and master it, I'm sure, you know, a lot of people seem to pull off masterpieces, but the lack of feedback was definitely what messed with my head. It's like, I could have sworn I put these exactly where I thought the body was, and nope. Now we want to draw. I'm glad I'm inspiring you to draw. That is always nice to hear. If you do, you know, feel free to share a picture of your Discord. Yeah. Of your picture in the Discord. I would be interested to see how it turns out. I did do a drawing stream one time. It was not necessarily the greatest stream. It drove one of my friends a bit nuts with the delay because the drawing was happening out of sync with what was going on. And it was, you know, I was speaking and saying things and then the drawing would happen at a different time just because of camera delays and everything. So, you know, it's hard to figure out how to get the sync of the delay to match up. And that's, you know, it's not good when it's out of sync like that. So I didn't do any more after that. But, you know, if you're doing a drawing stream, just bear that in mind. The camera can be very much in a different sync to your webcam and everything, depending on how you got it set up, and then that becomes a challenge. And I never sorted it out. Makes sense, exactly, it does. I will go always coin bag just to make life easier. Okay, there are now goat demons coming in. We're 20 minutes in, which means that probably in about, depending on how the level goes. Some levels, they don't get too bitrate murdery. But, you know, the enemies are starting to pile in. But normally I'd say about 5 more minutes until it becomes a literal light show. We're okay for the moment. Like, it's just a lot of horned demons at the moment, not necessarily a million things all spawning on the screen at once, but it probably might start to affect the bitrate at this point. Panic! I like that cat panicking. It's like doesn't know where to look. Good tip. It is a good tip. But you learn these things from experience. It's like, you know, I wouldn't have had that tip unless I messed it up myself, and I would always find the way to mess something up. If there's a way for something to go wrong, I've probably done it. Or if I haven't, I probably will do it at some point. Okay, the demons are all encroaching at this point. This is definitely going to become where the bitrate starts to suffer. They're all coming in and living too long. And we've got to survive 10 more minutes. And I don't know if we will. It's not the best, is it? No. You definitely don't want the delay. And like I said, you know, when people in chat are like, I can't handle the desync and everything, you know, it's not what you want to do. So I didn't do that again. But, you know, I do enjoy drawing. I'm not great at it, but I do enjoy it. Areas also emit special damaging zones. That seems useful. That might keep us alive. Bom, bom, bom. What sort of things do you draw? And, like, do you have any particular technique? When I do, I like the coloured pencils and everything, but I do an outline in coloured pen around the things, so, you know, I just like the look of that. So, I don't know if that's a particular art style or something, but that's what I do. You know, coloured pen around the outsides. It makes the things stand out and gives them a nice touch, and I like that. Really good. You got this. Thank you. Hopefully. 8 minutes. I mean, I should be able to survive 8 minutes. It depends on what it throws at me. I've never seen this level before, and it might throw... Like, it's already throwing angels at me. These are definitely not vampires. And I have a bad feeling now that I see the angels that it's going to throw the biblically accurate angels at me that were demonized, that have too much health and murder me. Colorblind hate using color. Ah. I mean, is it just the color that you're colorblind in, or is it all colors? Because, again, Natalo, I'm going to say, she does just black and white. And, you know, she has an interesting style in doing just that as well, without colour. So it's interesting that there are other people that do it with, you know, not colour. But I've never heard it being the reason that you hate it because of being colourblind. But I can understand that completely. Oh, we've moved on to angel bells. It's absolutely going to ramp up to biblically accurate angels. I can smell it already. They're just going to slowly but surely become the biblically accurate angels. They're going to probably leave it till the last 2 minutes so that they don't entirely murder me too soon. But they probably will. I probably don't survive the last 2 minutes. Depending on how it goes. But I can tell already, if they're ramping up to this, they're going to ramp up to the really worst enemy. I've heard that a few different colorblind people have said when some games make decision factors have to be color-based as well, like that's a major problem. Like it'll be like, choose this color, and like, yeah, but how do you know if it's that color? It becomes a big problem. Okay, I mean, we've gone up to these ones. It's still not the worst of them, but it's heading in that direction. On a tablet, it's easier because it'll tell me what the colour is. That's not bad. I didn't know they did that as well. That's actually a good feature. It can be like that. I've heard the stories. You would think that game devs would learn though, wouldn't you? And be like, well, if enough people are saying that this is a problem, that decisions are color-coded, shouldn't do that, but they don't. They just stick with it. Okay. I mean, I didn't need those level ups, but at the same time, there was a thing there just taunting me to take it, so I had to go take it. Okay. Gone bells. Oh, here's a new thing. I didn't even see it creeping up on me. Just came out of nowhere and almost touched me. Instead, at least. It might fill the screen with some of them, actually, and that would be pretty bad. Not all games have colorblind options. They don't, do they? In fact, I can't think of the last game that I played that even had a colorblind option. But it could just be that I'm not specifically looking out for it. But I feel that a lot of games actually don't have colorblind options, which you would think is ridiculous, right? You would think that accessibility has to be an important thing these days, and they should have these options. But I absolutely cannot think of the last game that even had a colorblind option. Okay, it didn't go to Biblically Accurate Angel, it just went to every enemy known to man coming in to murder me. And probably the bit rates. Because they're getting very, very, very close, and at least I've got these circles of protection around me. But I don't know how long that'll keep me alive. All it needs to do is last 3.5 minutes, and then we win. If it comes down to it, I mean, I shouldn't be worried. We've got the clock lamps there, and If it comes down to it, I sit in the clock and we live inside the enemies as one of them and we never die. That is another way to win. But, you know, I'm trying to see if we can do it without just existing in amongst the hordes. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, here's the onslaught of mini biblically accurate angels. 27 minutes. They don't have too many health. They're dying at least. That's not the worst. Okay, it can only get worse at 28 minutes though, I'm sure of it. Something worse is going to come. Your webcam has now turned into a block of pixels. I knew it. For some reason, like, you know, I might be able to get the game to survive, but the bitrate, I need a better webcam, let's face it. It kills the camera before it kills the rest of the screen. Like, my webcam just can't handle it, and I become pixelated in... Somehow, I'm the pixelated one. Before the game even becomes a slideshow, my webcam dies. But you know, minute 28, it's not the worst, other than the fact that all the enemies are absolutely coming in. Right, I'm existing amongst them now because there are too many big enemies. And this is the only way I get to live, is hiding inside of them, because nothing is dying. I'm one of the enemies now. Everything is good. I'm pixelated. They can't find me. That's why I become pixelated, so the demons can't find me. It's not that my camera can't handle it or anything because of the bit rates. But yeah, absolutely, if I didn't do that, we were dead. Okay? There's a chance to live. But I had to go live amongst them. It was the only way I could live. I would have been dead and lost. But yeah, it's not too bad when it's only 2 minutes of, like, everything becoming pixelated. You know, for the most part, most of the viewing experience is nice. It's just the final minute or two where it all dies. All good. Good to hear. And then there's brief respites when everything freezes as well. And, you know, you get some pixels again for a moment. For a brief moment. This eyeball isn't freezing, which is curious, and makes me think I need to kill the eyeball. Because the eyeball doesn't get affected by the freeze. Okay. Well, it's dead now. Okay, 10 seconds left to live, unless... My god. What happened to my health? It's a good job there are some chickens over there. I didn't realise quite how close to death I was, and then death and all his minions come to murder me. You survive 30 minutes. It doesn't do a lot for you. You die in the end, regardless. Death comes inevitably. Yeah, it's good that it doesn't become too much of a light show until the final minutes. Because if it was the entire viewing experience, then it'd be pretty good. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you, thank you. And thank you again for the subscription. And thank you for the follow, DJ Ninja Wolf, as well. But I think that's where I'm going to call it a day for today. I know it's a pretty short stream, but... you know, sometimes it's short. I'll be back on Wednesday with something else. I wasn't expecting the other game to be as short towards the end as it was. Thank you, thank you. And enjoy the emotes, and hopefully you have a good time. And I will catch you next time. And yeah, I'll try and pop by when it's not until dawn. When you're onto Resident Evil. And have a lovely rest of your day until then. Thank you, thank you.